Greetings and salutations. Hey guys, so I'm still a little stuck for content and like just knowing what I want to make on here. So I figured for this week's video, let's continue the Tales of Song Ranker little series because I am up to 1989 and spoiler alert, I do think we're getting 1989 Taylor's version kind of soon. So I want to do a ranker video before that album comes out because then I can look back once we get Taylor's version and I can see if it's changed and evolved and see if I have any opinions differing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rank them on a Tumblr site. I'll link it in the description and I will just, it basically gives 2 song options. I've done this in videos before, I think. It gives 2 song options. I click on the one that I prefer or think is better, and then at the end it just gives me a little rank for them, and I'll just say if I agree or disagree, and I'll tell you why I prefer each song as I go. Let's do it. So first of all, we have I Know Places or Clean, probably both in my top 5 on this album, but absolutely my answer is Clean. You can't compare Clean to a song like I Know Places. I Know Places hits very different, like as a sapphic person, as someone who has been in like relationships with people who are closeted or been in relationships with girls while I was closeted. It's a very, very like, it hits. It's a personal song. I do relate a lot to it, but Clean is so inexplicably personal and important to me. How You Get the Girl and This Love. This is tough because I love both of these songs for very different reasons. How You Get the Girl is one of my favorites on the album. Fuck you to everyone who doesn't appreciate How You Get the Girl. If I see you're disrespecting How You Get the Girl Taylor's version, it's on site. It's such a Peter and Gwen song for one thing. It's also a Persebeth song. I remember the day after 1989 was released, I edited Persebeth to How You Get the Girl because like How You Lost the Girl was Percy going missing in Harry's Olympus. You get it. And How You Get the Girl is just so much fun, but This Love is one of my favorite songs lyrically that Taylor's ever written. I think it's so stunning. I love that it came from poetry and I think you can really, really tell. So I'm gonna go with This Love. Bad Blood or Wildest Dreams. No competition, Wildest Dreams. Shake It Off or I Wish You Would. Unpopular opinion, I actually really like Shake It Off. I know that it got overplayed. I know that a lot of people don't think it's that great. And like, yeah, it's not the best song on the album, but it's so much fun. And Shake It Off is such a comforting song to me. It's so nostalgic. It just reminds me of a much simpler time in my life. Shake It Off was like the song that was everywhere when I was in my last year of primary school, 2014. It was like it was the only song I listened to for like months and months because it was the only song we got of 1989 for so long. And it was literally all I listened to, so that whole year just in my head sounds like Shake It Off, so it's wildly nostalgic and it's always so much fun on tour. But in saying that, I Wish You Would I think is a much stronger song. Lyrically, it's a much more relatable song to me. I Wish You Knew That I'll Never Forget You As Long As I Live. It's such a simple lyric, but it's like sticks with me. It's so poignant, and I always think of like her on tour being like, and this is the part of the song where that person who you want to show up for you more than anything in the world shows up at the exact right time, just like you did tonight, Sydney. That lives in my mind rent free. All You Had to Do Was Stay Out of the Woods. Again, 2 of my favorites. Instinctively, I'm just gonna go Out of the Woods. I'll elaborate on that later. Blank Space or Style. Blank Space. New Romantics or Welcome to New York. I love Welcome to New York. As someone who really, really wants to travel to New York one day, I've been obsessed with Broadway since I was a child. So the idea of New York, and like I'm a Spider-Man stan, so the idea of New York and just like bright lights and everything is really comforting to me. I cannot tell you how much And You Can Want Who You Want, Boys and Girls meant to me as a closeted, confused 13-year-old. New Romantics is like my anthem right now, so I'm gonna have to go with New Romantics. I also think New Romantics is one of the best pop songs ever written, and one of like Taylor, like there are like New Romantics and Cruel Summer I think are 2 of the like greatest pop songs ever written, let alone even Taylor Swift songs. You Were in Love or Wonderland. Oh no, I'm a Persebeth stan and a Swiftgron. Oh no. You Are in Love is obviously I think my favorite because that's the exact kind of like, that's the song that I really, really want to relate to someday. It's the Persebeth anthem on this album, because the Persebeth anthem of all time is obviously mine, I'll speak now. It's a song I would like to play at a wedding someday if I ever get to have a wedding, if I ever get married. It's a song that I really, really hope to relate to someday. Wonderland is very much so a One Division song in my head, which also gives it extreme points. Wonderland was one of my like first favorites off of 1989. Yeah, You Are in Love I think wins out. This Love or I Know Places is an interesting choice. I think I'm gonna go with This Love. I do love I Know Places. I Know Places is a more relatable song to me, but I do think This Love is better, and I think This Love has aged better. I Know Places was one of the songs that was my favorite when this album first dropped when I was like 13, 14, and is a song that I listened to a lot. Well, I listened to a lot when I was in relationships where this was a really relatable song, but like This Love I think is just so beautiful and it fits my music taste more so now. I think I also overplayed I Know Places, although I Know Places on tour has all the rights in the world. I Wish You Would or Wildest Dreams. I'm gonna go with Wildest Dreams. Wildest Dreams is as well one of the most relatable songs Taylor Swift has ever written for me personally. As someone with intense abandonment issues, I go into every relationship, every friendship, every encounter or interpersonal relationship I have with any human being ever, I go in with the mentality of this isn't a matter of if you will leave me, it is a matter of when you will leave me. And it's not, you know, I assume everything is going to end in flames, and so far I've been correct. And so I go into everything with this mentality of, you know, you're going to say goodbye to me someday. So Wildest Dreams is always super fucking relatable to me, because like the whole mentality of say you'll see me again, even if it's just pretend, and you know, you'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night. Someday when you leave me, I'll bet these memories follow you around. Like that song was written for me. It's Wildest Dreams is an Ashlee song. Blank Space or Out of the Woods. I love both songs very, very much. Blank Space is also one of the best pop songs ever written. It's fucking god tier, and Blank Space is the first instance of Taylor writing a song about her reputation. Really saying like this massive fuck you to the media and their portrayal of her, and really taking what narrative was being said to villainize her at the time and profiting off of it, which is one of my favorite things that she does, and I think just such a power move. And Blank Space is the first example of that, and one of the best examples of that I think she's done. However, Out of the Woods again is a very like, my favorite songs are judged by like what I relate to personally, and Out of the Woods is a very relatable song for me as someone who has severe anxiety and again has these intense abandonment issues. I walked out, I said I'm setting you free, but the monsters turned out to be just trees. Is that just those two lyrics really, really relate to me, because like I think I have every time I've ever been in a relationship with someone or hinted at being in a relationship, I think I've always been like, this is going to be too much, and if you ever need to walk away, you just can. I give them that out, and I tell them that like, you're free, you can go. And I really emphasize that, and Out of the Woods has that, but it's like the monsters turn out to be just trees, and it is just my own fears and insecurities and anxieties most of the time. Not always. My trust issues do also always be correct, but you know, You Were in Love, All You Had to Do Was Stay. Well, All You Had to Do Was Stay is more relatable to me. I prefer You Were in Love, and again, it's that hopefulness of someday this will be relatable to me, and if not, it's a Percy-Beth anthem, so fuck it. Welcome to New York or Style. So Style is not my favorite song. I feel like the rest of the fandom loves Style more than I do, and Style's very weird for me, because anytime I put it on, like I'm going fucking hard, but it's never a song where I'm like, I want to listen to something right now, I'm gonna put on Style. I never have the urge. It's never been one of my favorites. I do love it, but it's just never really been there. However, I'm probably gonna put it over Welcome to New York. All right, we've got our ranking. We'll rise up. At number 16, last place, Bad Blood. That checks out. Bad Blood is relatable to me, but I don't think it's a very good song. At number 15, we have Welcome to New York. That seems about right. Then Shake It Off at 14. At 13, we have I Know Places, which seems kind of low. It's underneath Style, but I think it does. I think that also does make sense, because I did overplay it when I was younger, and when given like the two options in front of me, it is kind of easier to pick, and so I trust that. I trust where that's being placed. In 12, we have Style. 11, we have How You Get the Girl, which is lower than I thought it would be, but this is a really good album, so like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Number 10, we have Blank Space. Number 9, we have I Wish You Would, which I actually thought, I think I would flip Blank Space and I Wish You Would. I think I prefer Blank Space to I Wish You Would. Number 8, All You Had to Do Was Stay. Number 7, Wonderland. Number 6, New Romantics. Number 5, This Love. Number 4, You Are in Love. Number 3, Wildest Dreams. Number 2, Out of the Woods. And number 1, Clean. That checks out for me. Clean, I knew going into this would be number 1, like hands down. There was not a doubt in my mind. Clean is a song that has been so important to me since this album first came out. This album came out about a year after I first started self-harming, so a song being called Clean in general was a very impactful thing for me. The older I get, the more Clean perfectly captures how I feel towards various forms of abuse that I felt and various abusers in my life. And the song reminds me of a lot of personal experiences that I've had, and I don't necessarily relate to actually being clean yet, but I'm gonna get there. And when I was drowning, that's when I could finally breathe. Yeah, that's one of the best lyrics Taylor has ever written. I think it really, really hits close to home. And the bridge, the simplicity of it, 10 months older, I won't give in. Now that I'm clean, I'm never gonna risk it. Oh boy, I love Clean a lot, and it means a lot to me. So that was always gonna be number 1. Oh, this was fun. I missed doing this. I love just talking about Taylor Swift. Thank you guys for listening to me talk about Taylor Swift and giving me a space to do this. Like, I've never really had that before where people want to hear. It's always just been something that people have to put up with. So thank you for giving me that space and for listening. What are your favorite songs? What are you most excited to hear on Taylor's version? Do let me know in the comments. I love you all very much, and I will see you soon. Mwah.